That
Hello? 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 I wasn't even told to unmute that. Can you hear me now? 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 Okay, so Bob Saget died, and
Can we hear? Are we on now?
that's
Yep.
really weird.
Cool.
I have no idea. Yeah, okay, so I get to yell
Super.
at Tiffany. She didn't tell me that. Yeah. Well, normally the 7 o'clock show with John and Kim Campbell is on, and so I guess all that's done before we normally get here.
what's the one next to the camera?
This one,
Yeah, what does that say?
share screen.
Ooh.
This one is invite guests.
Welcome to Tech
This
Talk.
one's add source. And whatever.
So if you push the clock button and hold it, it will start blinking, which then will allow you to set your VCR timer.
What the hell are we talking about?
We're Tech Talk. He's
Tech Talk with Phillip, Mike, and James. This is how you
Tech
don't
Talk
do
from
a show.
83.
Well, the good news is we had a great time talking the first 20 minutes, so now we're just
Sorry, you guys missed out.
That's all right. We were just going through,
The
Bob
secrets
Saget and Betty White was basically all that was.
Secrets
Yeah.
of life, how to be successful.
Oh,
all the
we
usual
have no
things.
idea.
We-
yeah.
We found the meaning of life. So
Yeah,
sorry
we
you guys
did. I'm
missed
sorry
out.
you missed it.
We cracked
If
the
you
code.
read lips well, you can go back and watch it. And
Get a transcription.
Jesus, only me. Yeah. Anyway, hey, yeah, must be. Maybe we're listening, or because people are actually getting on now. Anyway.
Nice.
Oh, that sucks.
That does suck.
That's actually kind of
Yeah.
good that people actually told us they wanted to listen to us.
That is
That
good.
can't be it. They're just wondering why
Nah.
they can't hear us. It's
They're
just
like, can you turn it back on mute?
okay,
That'd be
oh,
great.
okay, cool. Unmute. All right, and then we can just flip past and go to something else.
Something good.
Yeah,
It's
I've
more
got to watch.
interesting
Yeah,
muted.
Something with talent.
I've got to watch TikTok with random chicks just showing their boobs in front of the. So, here's
Nothing-
another thing that pissed me
what?
off. So, Britney Spears has this thing where she came out and something about her just flaunting her nudity and this whole thing. And there's all these comments from all these people about like, oh, she's so free from her parents and now she can blah blah blah. I'm like, these are the same people talking about how women are not objects, Me Too movement, blah blah blah. I'm like, which is it? And that just really irritates me. Like, I don't care what your beliefs are, but be consistent.
Right.
So I just have no respect for people who constantly change their view to fit whatever it is they need to that day. And I think that's really a common thing between
Sheep.
yeah, both sides, all levels of poor to rich. It doesn't matter. People are just the majority of people are just doing that. And I'm just like, just stick with it. You either stand for what you think or not,
Right.
That doesn't mean you have to be a douche about it, but you can just say, well, okay, but it's
Brought
just
to you
so
by Summer's Eve.
it's just a douche.
This
This
segment
show
brought
is
to
brought
you-
to you by Summer's Eve. And anyway, yeah. I just went into a lot of tampon jokes. I can't tell. I mean, I could, but then we literally get muted we lost half our people talking about douche.
And
Yeah.
tampons. There you go. Way to
Yeah.
go, dude.
I know. What are you
Back
gonna
to
do?
Tech Talk in the 80s.
You go tech talk in
And
the
all of a
80s.
sudden,
Yeah.
you told me how to program my VCR.
That's right. Is George Carlin talking about when he's on the airplane, and they're telling us like you need to adjust your mask before adjusting your kids. I did not need to be told that. In fact, I'm going to be too busy screaming to help him at all. This is a good time for him to learn self-reliance. So if he can program his freaking VCR, he can jolly well figure out a mask. And it's pretty true. But that's what they say, take care of yourself or you can't take care of your kid.
Why are you putting on a mask on as you're,
Yeah.
hurtling to the earth at 500-600 miles an hour?
That's the
Like-
last thing you're thinking about.
Like,
Probably.
let's enjoy the last 30 seconds of our lives. Yeah.
And that's what he's telling us, like, put the mask on and remain breathing normally. Oh, I have no problem with that. I always breathe normally when I'm in a 600-mile vertical dive. I also shit normally.
Now I'm going to do them simultaneously.
That's right. Oh, man. Oops, I shipped my pants.
I shipped my pants in my plane.
Man, there's several articles talking about the old commercials that people talk, it's like we keep advancing, but yet we keep censoring ourselves more. So are we really advancing? Like there's just certain stuff you wouldn't be able to get away with anymore. And then I look back and I'm like, but it was just so innocent. I mean, it's mind boggling to me. It's like,
Well, it's kind of like the Howard Stern.
yeah,
where when he went on to satellite, he got boring because there was no limits for him to push anymore.
right. That's
And-
true.
and
Yeah. He could just say literally whatever he
So
wanted.
And
back
now
when he
he-
was back in the old days, he had a lot more fun because he was pushing the boundaries. Now,
Mhm. Yeah. And boy, did he,
Yes, he did.
you know,
I remember listening to him on 97.1 on the Eagle, and man, it was hot. It was to do, man. Holy
Yeah.
smokes!
They were talking that from the movie, the Private Parts movie, but it was actual thing that happened too. Is they were talking about how the average Howard Stern listener will listen for about an hour, and the average Howard Stern hater will listen for 2 hours. And it was for the same reason. They want to know what he was going to say next. It's just like, but people do that. It's like you spend so much time watching something that you hate just so you can yell about it.
Right.
Well, just don't watch it.
Gotta have that.
I don't
ammo.
watch The View. There's a reason I don't watch The View. And people talk about, that show should be canceled. It's so hateful.
He's
No,
watching The Talk. That's why.
it shouldn't be canceled. Just don't watch it. They have it. But the problem is if they have a right to have a show like that, then the opposing side should be able to have a show like that. And so I don't think, no, they have every freedom in the world to have the show, but I just don't watch it. It's very, very simple, actually. And I think that's where we've gotten somewhere, is that if it's offensive or something we can't handle, it's done. It just goes away. And that's not really how it works. Nothing works that way. We all hate cancer.
Right.
But it's here. We have to deal with it.
Yes.
No one, I don't think there's too many cancer advocates out there, and if there are, they can take a bullet to the
We're
brain.
pro-cancer.
We're pro-cancer. I've never heard that. Of course you're not, but for some, it doesn't go away. You just have to, it's like, when you're a little kid, right? It's like, well, if I put my hands over my eyes and quit listening, then it all just goes away. No, it doesn't. You're still in trouble, right?
Is that
Yeah.
new? Is that?
Yeah. Does that not work? Do you do that with your if I quit listening to my wife, I'm still in trouble, or how's that working?
She
Is
she
it
was
working now?
she was yelling at me for not paying attention. I don't know. I wasn't listening.
Yes, it's like
It's a weird way to start a conversation.
I know. Yeah, so my wife's just like, you're not even listening to me, are you? And I'm thinking, weird way to start a conversation.
Bill Burr. When you
yeah.
hear da da da. Oh shit, that was a question.
That was a question. I'm supposed to answer something now. Did you send him that song about I don't know what we're talking about?
No.
Oh, you need to send it to him. Oh, it's hilarious. It's a song about this guy's on a date, and then
He just squirrels out.
he be squirrels out basically, and
Thinking about a
the chorus
penguin.
is I don't know what we're talking about, and so oh man, it's hilarious. What was that?
I know. I heard that too.
Was that the aliens coming in to say something? Hello?
Are they on to us because I said shit?
Oh no, we
Oh,
forgot
wait,
our
I said
aluminum
it
foil.
again.
We forgot our aluminum foil hats.
1-800 dog poop to take care of that problem.
I don't think.
That's awesome.
Oh, she said, Tiffany said it was her accident. I was like, what? You're beeping at us. I can't. Can you do it again? Slowly?
Repeatedly.
Oh, keep beeping. Okay, I got some serious issues, right? It suddenly got 106 degrees in here.
Yeah, it's
I
like
think
a
the back
convection.
office kicked it in.
Oh,
Like
okay.
a convection
That's
oven
fine.
in here.
That's all right. We can just open. Yeah, this one room gets really, really hot.
Sit a pan of muffins
And-
in here would have a snack later.
I'll just say us three getting all heated in here does
It's
not sit well
hot.
with me at all.
Hot.
Why are those three guys in that little room sweating? And now they're taking clothes off.
looks like a Turkish bath in there. What's going on?
That's it. You ever been in a Turkish prison?
I said bath, not a prison.
I know. I instantly went to airplane. Okay, so now that you can hear us,
We're about to go on break, so there's that.
There is that. So maybe we'll figure this out, and then we'll go from there.
Hopefully, we'll have a good segment the next one. That way, we'll keep
Yeah.
people wanting to come back.
I know all the
Tell
stuff
your
I wanted
friends.
to talk about. We've already talked about. Maybe we'll just do it again.
Tell your friends that we're train wrecks.
Okay. Go turn it down. Okay, go turn it down. Okay, now is it down?
Hey, travelers, do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right, call, because the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at ridiculously low prices. Our prices are too low to publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find ridiculously low prices for you. Call SmartFares today and get the best price on your next flight. Guaranteed. Also, save up to 50% off business and first class tickets.
855-325-1820. 855-325-1820. That's 855-325-1820.
Fast Track Student Loans can get your student loans out of default, stop any wage garnishments, stop collection calls, and stop seizure of your tax refund. Give yourself a break. Stop the stress and get your student loan payments down to as little as $25 a month based on what you can afford to pay. 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395.
Out of deck carpet giving you the blues? Tired of your old dingy and broken tile? Let my friends at the Floor Store in Cleveland, Texas give your home the makeover it deserves. This is Old Taco Joe coming to you for the Floor Store. Whether it's carpet, tile, wood flooring, or real wood laminate, the Floor Store can cover all of your flooring needs. Located at 405 West Henderson Street in Cleveland, Texas, owner Brent Harris can help. Shower tile, tub surrounds, even backsplashes. Give them a call today at 817-641-9444. The Floor Store, they've got you covered.
It's like coffee and bang. You off banging now? You're not banging?
I'm not banging. No, I'm not. But that's all right.
That's a good way to start off the session.
Yeah, not banging. Went from Betty White to banging.
Or not banging.
Or not banging. Yep. The brilliance of Betty White. Sad. And then, of course, Saget.
Hey, did you hear back Bob Saget died?
Yeah. It's almost like we talked about that half an hour ago. Yeah, it's and the other it's funny that with Bob Saget though is the other do you ever see his roast? I don't
Oh gosh.
I don't really watch the roast for the
I
most
used to.
part, but I will watch like when I'm flipping through and they'll have like the best of and stuff like that. I've started watching those.
I stopped watching once Nick DiPaolo and Greg Giraldo and
when
Lisa
they're
Montgomery
I know,
over. I'm
I
like,
know.
Those three were
Giraldo, man.
they were vicious. They were awesome though.
Yeah. They were. But the Saget's was really, really good.
I think one of my favorite ones was with William Shatner,
Oh yeah.
and Betty White was on there.
Really?
And she goes, Bill, they have invented 2% milk.
Man.
But yeah, she takes in a couple of hard shots on him. He's just dying.
That's
laughing.
awesome.
Well, there's this one story of how she was late for Carol Burnett show. Maybe it was Carol Burnett show. Or I know she was also ended up getting on the Mary Tyler Moore show.
Yeah.
Well, one of those, but she was late. She was like an hour late to the rehearsal because she saw two dogs loose and went and got them and rescued them because she's this huge animal rights activist. And I'm just like, that's Betty White. She's like, I'll be late. I'm going to say, and she never changed.
No.
And there's just so many few people that have been in that Hollywood scene where you literally can't find anyone that says a bad thing about them.
So it's
like Betty White and Keanu Reeves. It's the only two I can think of that just really, truly lived that way.
So on topic of Betty White, I just realized today's the 10th. So that means next Monday will be her birthday. So we'll be on.
Yeah,
It's the same as my son's. So Trevor's birthday.
So interesting.
Yeah, I saw a campaign on Facebook saying everyone should donate $5 to an animal charity.
I think I brought that up last week.
And I really hope that kind of happens. Cool. Yeah. I mean, just think.
I might consider doing that myself.
If a million people did that, $5 million.
Yeah.
Save a lot of people.
Pretty impressive.
I don't know. I see that as Keanu the same way, where there's did I tell you about the video about the lady who backed up into my motorcycle?
No.
Yeah. So, because he's a big bike enthusiast.
Sure.
And this one lady just backs up into one of the motors, and a paparazzi knew that it was his bike, right? And she's trying to blame the bike there, whatever. Like, well, it's Keanu Reeves. So Keanu Reeves comes up, and you hear the paparazzi going, "Hey, this lady hit your bike," or whatever, blah blah blah. And so he goes over there, and of course, she's just running her mouth, and I mean, it's on camera, so it's like, lady, you just backed in the bike. Like later on, when you realize it's been filmed, you're gonna look like a complete idiot or whatever. So Keanu Reeves, he just picks up and goes, "Hey, if it starts, it's no problem." And he got in, and after about 4 or 5 times, they finally started. And he's like, "Okay, it's cool," and just drove off. I'm just like, I wouldn't have done that. I'm not that. I mean,
right.
And it kind of makes you. I wish I would, but I don't think I would have.
Did you hear what he did with the Matrix?
Oh yeah,
last one.
Yeah, what 14 million or something?
He donated 70% of his earnings to cancer.
Yeah.
research.
Well, the first one, he donated like $8 million back to the rest of the crew.
Yeah, I heard about
I did
that.
hear about
And
that.
then the Devil's Advocate, he took a huge pay cut so they could get Al Pacino.
Awesome.
He was like, whatever it takes. I mean, he dropped it like almost like 60% of what they're offering from movies. Like, I don't care. We got to get Al Pacino. It's the only one that makes sense in this movie. But you know, it's just you don't hear about that till like all these years later, and I'm just like, wow, you know. And every time you ask him, he's just like, I'm just simple. I just try to keep it simple. And it's really wild, and it's funny because there's interviews with 2 or 3 of paparazzi's talking about. It's like, honestly, we tried so hard to follow Keanu, and there's just no dirt. You know, I mean, there isn't, and so because if you're famous and you have dirt, it's gonna come out.
Did
if
you
you're,
see what
you
he
know,
did? He took his neighbor's trash out. He's horrible. It's like, what?
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
Terrible
exactly.
person.
Well, you know, he rides
He's a
public
monster.
transportation.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's,
And
no
so-
one else rides it. That's why.
Huh?
No one else rides it, so that's why.
That's why he likes being by
He's
himself.
basically about being chauffeured in L.A.
I think ever since he did Speed, he's like, I'm just going to ride all the subways and see if that ever
Bus
happens.
thing's pretty cool, man.
Maybe I'll see Sandra Bullock again. That was Well, there's a big story about how they had a crush on each other, didn't know it during that movie.
Uh-huh.
And they talked to Sandra later, like, oh, I just had to, you know, and then they talked to him, like, oh, yeah, I know. And I'm just like, dude, that would have been a perfect pairing. Because I love her. But it's,
I mean, it would have been
Did
better
you,
to be with him than Jesse James. Or,
yeah, you know, that guy. There's a nice guy for you.
stand up character.
Fucking
Have you guys
douche.
seen the bit with Sandra Bullock, Betty White, and Ryan Reynolds when they did they had like a behind the scenes?
Mm-mm.
It's a great little bit where Betty White sits down next to Ryan Reynolds, and she's like, because the movie was The Proposal,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
and Ryan sitting there reading the script, and Betty White's like, I'd like some coffee. He's like, I'm not your assistant. It's like, I know you're terrible at it. It's like, I'm Betty White, get me coffee. And then Sandra Bullock, and he like yells at her a bunch of profanities. And then Sandra Bullock pulls over Betty White, and she's like flipping him off while she's being comforted by Sandra Bullock. And he's like, he's America's sweetheart. No one knows who you are from Canada.
And I wouldn't be surprised if Ryan Reynolds literally wrote that.
It was very, very entertaining.
Oh man, he's another guy that I just he has started the practical jokes of Hollywood, and I think what an amazing thing to do between because him and Hugh Jackman are constantly messing with each other,
Right.
you know. But now since he did the red what's that movie?
Deadpool.
No, well after Deadpool, he did the movie with
Red
Notice.
Red Notice.
Yeah, with Dwayne. I haven't watched it yet. It's on my queue, but now he's put him in it, you know, and it's just like, and it's just, I always believe that if I was ever blessed enough to be able to have a career, that's how I would have been.
Well, did you hear about the Peloton disaster that happened after the new Sex in the City?
Mm-mm.
They Mr. Big was riding a Peloton and had a massive heart attack and died on a Peloton, and their stock dropped 11% because of that. And so they
Sweet
actually,
God.
and I didn't know this.
What's
but
that have to do with it? But
no idea, but they
people are, yeah.
but they actually hired. I didn't know, but Ryan Reynolds has a marketing company.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
they brought him in, and he brought them right back by
Yep.
just addressing it and
Yep.
and making jokes about it. Just
Yep.
saying, "Eh."
that's it. It works. And they were actually talking about how the biggest smash right now is Yellowstone, and I mean it's huge, and
It's-
the number one reason why everyone's like because it's not a woke show.
There's nothing. Well, there's no political agenda. There's no.
It's just
quotas.
a good
Right.
show, you know. And even with how Ricky Gervais is, we were talking about Afterlife in the first half, but you wouldn't know that because we didn't have any sound. James.
Yes.
Well, now I know. I just never had done. But anyway, he's the same way. Where I mean, I know a lot of his views on certain things and blah blah blah, you know. But it's he doesn't necessarily like his atheism and things like that I don't necessarily agree with.
Right.
And really, I don't know if it's atheism, but it's definitely
Agnostic.
agnostic probably, but he doesn't. It's kind of his thing and part of the character, but it's not like it's not an agenda he pushes at all.
Right.
Like he tell people that's great. He goes, whatever people believe. And that's the thing is there's a lot of people, even friends and stuff, that we know what we don't agree on and we focus on our commonalities,
Right.
you know, and somehow that's become the wrong thing to do because everyone has to agree on everything. It's like that's never been the case in family or friends or reality. You're not gonna, now your closest friends, maybe, yes, you probably see a whole lot of, but I got a lot of friends that I care deeply about that there's several opinions that I know we have polar opposites on, and pretty touchy ones, but
Sure.
we're like, well, we're not gonna.
Don't bring it up.
Yeah,
So
but
they're
I
not-
think there's a humility if we don't know everything. We only know our perspective and our, there has to be some sort of a humanity to that where you're like, we don't know everything. Be humble about. I believe that, yes, and this is why. But I mean, hell, I could be wrong. I mean,
Sure.
but I mean, I'm not. But I could be.
Right.
No, I'm just kidding.
That's the rumor.
Yeah, yeah. No, it wouldn't down there. I'd go up. I'm going to go up to the pearly gates and go, hey, what was I wrong on? He's going to go.
How much time?
You know,
how much time you got?
So well, you got all the time in the world now because you did. So we're gonna go, and it might be. But that's fine because you can only
I
deal
want
with
to get comfy.
Yeah. How many times did I poop? That would be the questions I would ask.
Yes,
Because I wonder
that
if they
would be.
keep records of everything. I'm just be curious. How many times did I poop? I mean, that had to be a lot, right?
Thank God we're live.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a great way to start a conversation in the
Yeah.
morning. What color's your poop in the morning? That's an old
Are you
Colin
regular?
Mockery. There's a Colin Mockery from Whose Line?
Adam Carolla has a.
I like Adam Carolla.
One of his inventions is he's like, whenever you have like a beet salad, you need like a band so when you wake up in the morning, you don't think you're dying.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like, remind yourself that you ate a lot of beets.
Mm. You'll know.
You'll know.
You'll know. So if you ate asparagus, you'll know. You will know.
I love asparagus.
I do too. It's great, but
It's awesome.
the pee afterwards is pretty horrendous.
Yeah.
But go in a public restroom. Use it as a weapon. Make demands.
You and that coffee today.
It's
dude.
empty.
Well, I know, but you need
It's
like
because
a
I keep
sippy
fiddling
cup.
with it. Everything I fiddle with eventually falls apart.
Mhm.
That explains my whole life. It's everything I touch turns to
You need a
crap.
double-handed sippy cup.
Once again,
Mm,
1-800 dog poop can help you with that problem.
that's all the crap I need to clean up in my life.
When you're in deep shit,
I do want one of those 2 little sippy cups, where you can't spill, right?
Yeah.
Maybe that's what I need.
those are awesome.
They're awesome, and I think they were made probably for adults like me and not necessarily
Right.
kids.
Well, I have seen them on TikTok where they've done it with the wine.
Oh yeah.
So that way you don't spill your wine when you're.
All the Karens don't have to lose a drop of.
Well, they drop it on the couch or the kids knock it over just to.
Have we officially decided what the male version of a Karen is? Has that been decided in the
Chad or-
country?
It was either Chad or Derek were the 2 names I heard.
Mm.
Mainly Chad's what I've heard.
Chris
My
Chris
problem with
and-
Chad is I know some really cool Chads,
I do too.
and Kyle's. We talked
I
about
know
Chad
cool
and Kyle's. Yeah.
but I don't know. I feel like it's Eugene. No, actually, Eugene's the guy you want to cheat off of while you're taking a test. That's is it about names? You can it's pretty funny. George Carlin has a bit talking about, when I grown up, it was, names were like Rocky and Biff and Al, and now they're like Kalen and Chandler. And he goes, I tell you right now that Biff and Al will beat the shit out of Chandler.
Colton doesn't stand a
Colton doesn't
chance.
stand a chance. And I'm like, why do I agree with that? I shouldn't. The name is just a name, right? But anyway, I don't know, man.
That's awesome.
It's true.
We had some people we knew that were at one of the private schools where kids were, and their kids' name were Gunner and Cannon.
Nice.
I'm like, okay,
Yeah. Have they ever been to a gun range? No. Okay.
Yes.
You're failing miserably.
no,
No, I'm sure they have.
Hopefully, they're members of the NRA.
probably.
Yeah.
They
They
should
were
get
very-
honorary memberships just from being
Yeah.
born with names like that.
That's pretty
Yeah.
cool. My buddy's he's an Army vet. He has his dog is Gunner because that's what he did was huge guns or whatever like that. And I was just like, what a great dog name. But I don't know if I would have ever thought for a kid, but I don't know. Shit 1, shit
But
2.
The Nelson brothers, from Ricky Nelson,
Mm-hmm.
back in the late 80s, early 90s.
The Nelson
his-
twins.
Yeah. He was Gunner, and I forget what the other kid's name.
Oh God,
was.
what was their one song? Something with the rain or something. What was it? What was Nelson? They had that one hit, man. That was damn it.
I know.
Anyone listening? No one's listening. Okay. It's rain. Ah,
not Rain's Africa or anything like that.
no, that would be Africa.
Purple Rain.
No, not Purple Rain.
After the rain.
After the rain
And then
washes away the tears.
Can't Live Without Your
Can't
Love
live
and
without
Affection.
your love and affection. Yeah, that was, oh my gosh. That was a junior high all over again.
Gunner
Does it say
and
when those
Matthew.
came out? Gunner and Matthew. Boy, talk about going for Gunner and then Matthew. It's like you just went opposite side of the spectrum. I don't know.
Good grief.
It's a Jim Gaffigan talking about because he has 8 kids. His parents had 8 kids, and he goes, and the first couple of kids always get the family name. But then by the end of it, you're just like, oh, you're named after grandma. You're named after a sandwich I had. Now go get your brother Reuben.
Here's Folger.
Yeah, go get your brother Reuben. But it's true, man. And I think of, because my oldest brother's Robert, Richard, then James. So I didn't get an R. And I think it's because I was an oops. November 13th, I was conceived on Valentine's Day. I've done the math. I know what I was. I was a drunken slop fest. And that pretty much explains me, I think, now. But no, I don't know. First, where do babies come from? Well, first you come home drunk from a hockey game. Which I don't want to. I'm going to talk about that, by the way. I don't know if the last Stars game Sunday against the Blues, and I am not a official blamer. I'm like, hey, penalties are penalties, and I'll be like the first guy to go, what are y'all mad about? He tripped him, right? But and of course the whole NHL is saying the same thing. But they were in the last minute of the third period. Stars are up 1-0. A questionable thing was pulled anyway, so we get 2 minutes in the box. So they have a power play. They score. Well, during the next thing is Miro Heiskanen, who's one of our star defenders, literally tripped right in front of the referee. As he's going down, his stick is going down, hits someone else, and they call Miro for slashing and put someone back in the box. So they got another power play in the last 40 seconds. And everyone is just like, well, of course the Blues don't care, but it was just it was the most obvious bad call ever that literally changed the game just because of that one event. And everyone was talking about that afterwards. Well, and the thing is that, the Blues are in our division. It's a huge division game, and and it was just kind of like,
did they score on that power play?
Yeah, and they won in the last 30 seconds. So, and if you ever watch, but Rick Bowness, the head coach, is he's one of the oldest coaches in the NHL. He's very low key. He's just at the end of it, he was just beating the crap out of a hockey stick going all the way down the tunnel. It was just, and of course afterwards, all the announcers and reviews and everything is like, yeah, it's just, they blew it totally bad, and so, yeah, that's how I got to, and it was a midday, so it ruined the whole half of my second day, because it was a really huge, important game, and it was obviously just a really, and they show the picture of Miro where he's like, wait, I'm going in the box? It was just obvious tripping, which would have put, it would have been a whole different game. They could have held it, or at least gone to OT, but it was just
that's crazy.
It was unbelievable. And I was dumbfounded. And I've watched a lot of hockey in my life.
Yes, you have.
Tons, because I grew up with it in Michigan. And it just, and like I said, most of the time people will be like, oh, that's a crap. And I'm going, no, that's cross-checking, bro. We need to go in the box. I've always been kind of that guy but this one, I was just like, you've got to be kidding me. And of course, then all the NHL pages and everyone else is going, what? And so,
right.
And, the funny thing is yeah, St. Louis gets a win, but it has an asterisk, everyone knows, well, did you, and so it kind of sucks for them too, quite honestly, because they're, and they're already, they're up there. In the division anyway, but man, it was just, I had never been so mad at a game. Literally, 1 minute left. It was 1-0 Stars. And then they pulled the goalie, of course, so it's 6-on-5. And I can't remember what the first penalty was, but it was very questionable. And then so they put him, and then they scored, which allowed that player to come back and then put someone else in. And it was just and then Miro goes to the box, and so it's 6-on-4 again. And of course they're going to score. It's just man, it was unbelievable. And up to that point, Holtby killed it. He blocked everything. He was going to shut him out. And then, so that was a pretty hard one to watch. So, but like I said, it always has that. It's like the people who won the Stanley Cup during the year where it was really only half a season because of COVID and stuff like that. A lot of people saying it's like, yeah, the Stanley Cup, but there's this asterisk next to it, kind of,
Yeah, 'cause the Stars were right there. I mean, they were
there. Yeah. And so it's just, I don't know, man, but well, we'll see if they can turn around. Fortunately, the beauty of it is an 82 game season for hockey, but
true.
It's just, that's kind of a momentum killer because we actually won 4 straight games. And then we're moving out there and we beat, the Panthers, and then we beat the Penguins, which are top tier Eastern teams. Just won them both, and then we get to the Blues, who's our longtime rival. And then all of a sudden, there's this weird officiating, and we're like, "Oh, come on! I don't want to believe that." But I mean, it just was so obvious. And
so, how come the Penguins have ice skates? They're the only logo that really doesn't need any help on the ice.
That's true. That is weird. They just wanted to show their creativity of, I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea. I don't know what to say to that. So I'm really hoping though that this year, if as things get better, that I'll be able to actually go in and try the adult league hockey, beginner adult league hockey. That's my midlife crisis. Other people get, 20-year-old girlfriends or a really nice car or whatever. I'm gonna go play hockey and get my ass beat. Well, that's just who I am. So you guys ever had your midlife crisis?
Yes, I'm on a podcast or
I'm on a show with you that no one listens to. That's my midlife crisis.
Community radio.
Yeah. What about you? Didn't really?
Not yet. At least
yet.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I think this one might be mine. Because everything else I've done has been a yearly crisis my whole life. So, so I don't need midlife crisis. I have enough crisis in my life. But that's okay. And so, what else is coming out as far as January should be? Is there any other shows y'all are watching that you can recommend that are out there?
Another one I'm interested. It's on Thursday. Is the John Cena one?
You lost me. You lost me with John Cena.
I don't know. I don't know what that is. What? Where's it streaming or what channel? Or?
HBO Max.
Oh, okay.
And
see, that's the problem is I don't have HBO, so a lot of those shows I'm missing out on.
It's from the Suicide Squad where he had the silver toilet head, and he has basically a whole nother. They basically did a spinoff of another kind of like Suicide Squad, and he's the leader of it.
Oh, I actually did see a thing for that. When you said Suicide Squad, it made me realize it. I think it was a trailer that I had seen or something.
Yeah, they said they're really excited about it because it's going to be extremely violent and funny.
Oh, Deadpool.
Yes.
Man, funny.
Yeah.
Funny.
That's a great movie.
I'm waiting on season 6 of Peaky Blinders. That's my love that show. It's amazing. So
I've been going through all the Defenders. So I've watched all 3 seasons of Daredevil. I just got both seasons of The Punisher, and then I just got through the first season of Jessica Jones. She kind of had a kind of a slow start, but ended up being really, really good. And she's hot. That helps. And sorry, Carla. And who was it? She was Joe Pavelski, who is one of the best trades we've ever done for the Dallas Stars, and they call him Captain America, right? Whatever like that. But we're sitting and watching. She's like, man, he's just a really good-looking guy. And I'm like, he is a really good-looking guy. And y'all are the same age. So that's odd. So I don't know if you have a chance. His wife's pretty hot too. So, but anyway, we've always just been open like that. But yeah, so I have, there's 2 more seasons of Jessica Jones, and then Iron Fist has 2 and Luke Cage has 2. And then the Defenders. So it's going to take me forever because I don't watch a ton of TV. So, but
yeah, I don't know what happened, but they said that the guy from Iron Fist, he did something in his personal life and he's gone.
Yeah. So, I don't know if they were going to reprise it anyway, but he did the 2 seasons, and then they have the Defenders, which all 4 of them came together.
Either just kind of like
yeah, and that's kind of why that one's last, because I'm not, I don't know if I'll watch it or not. I might just go straight to the Defenders one, but the Daredevil 3 seasons were phenomenal.
Yeah,
I loved it. Jessica Jones' first season was really good. Both seasons of Punisher I thought were awesome. Yeah, just because it's brutal, man.
They said that they
intertwine the best. Yeah, and the Luke Cage. So Iron Fist really doesn't intertwine with anyone other than, so that's why I'm like, eh.
Well, they said they're gonna, and I think they're making a new Punisher movie or something. And they're actually changed his logo.
Really?
Yeah, so he has a new logo.
Not the skull anymore. No. Are they using him?
No, different person.
Because he is the Punisher. I can't imagine anyone else now.
A lot of these rednecks are going to have to change their sticker on the back of their jacked up trucks.
Yeah, I like
it.
Too soon? Okay.
No.
I like.
I don't have one yet, so I'll get the. No,
you get the new one.
No.
Yeah.
The series, those two, man, it's just I just can't imagine, because that was one of the comics. I read quite a bit of the comics growing up, and through all I never really was a DC guy. I was always a Marvel guy, and I did a lot of X-Men is what I read, and but the Punisher stuff I always really liked because of the story behind it. But I'm telling you, man, I was watching, I was like, man, no one else can play the Punisher. He just nailed it. And then, because there was a movie before.
Yeah, it was terrible.
And I watched about 12 minutes.
I think there's actually been 2 Punisher movies.
Has there?
There's
Well,
one
that
in
tells
the
you how good they
90s,
were.
And then there's one in like the 2000s. They remade it.
Yeah.
I'm not a comic guy at all, so
yeah.
What y'all are talking about? It's just I don't know.
I get
anything
it.
that you're talking about.
Well, the Punisher is he was a
I mean, I've seen the
secret
trailer
operative,
when
badass military
yeah.
guy who, and so he's
Right.
kind of one of those where he's not really a superhero, but he is a vigilante. And so, but the way he kind of crosses in now, Daredevil he's a comic book hero who always was, you never kill. And Punisher's like, I'm going to kill everybody if they deserve it. So there's this battle between them
Right.
where Daredevil's trying to stop him from, even
Yeah.
though they're on the same side. So it's really kind of cool how I did this. And then, but Jessica Jones, the first season, did you watch any of that yet?
I couldn't get into it.
Yeah.
It was just
It took
really slow burn.
it was about episode 3 and 4. It got really good, but I just kind of was like, okay, I'm going to watch through it. But also I like the guy who's playing Luke Cage. I can't imagine anyone else being Luke Cage now.
No,
he just kills it.
Yeah. But I also didn't like her bit because he just seems so depressing. It
gets better. Yeah.
Because it's just like all this, like, I guess it was hitting too close to home. It's like, oh, this is really depressing. Like,
oh yeah, well it is.
I don't need any more depression in my life.
Yeah. Don't watch it if you're down.
Yeah.
Watch it when you're high on stimulants.
Are we done with nerd talk or okay.
No. We're just trying to get you involved.
Oh,
I want you to nerd out with me, baby.
No, I'm good.
Oh, no. Nerd out, baby.
No.
Nerd out.
Yeah, there's a place in Dallas that you can go. It's called the Nerdist, and it's like a bar where you can go and you rent a booth and you play arcade games and Xboxes and stuff.
Okay, I wouldn't do that. No, that I wouldn't do.
Actually, it's in Frisco, but yeah.
Oh well, Frisco, that makes sense. All those rich people who sit around and play.
So I took my daughter, probably 5-6 months ago now. But anyway, there's a bar on Magnolia in Fort Worth that it's an arcade, and so when we got there, we walk in and pay to get in, and it's unlimited play. You get a game card kind of thing, and in the front part of it, there's like all these tables and stuff, and all these people are coming in with their computer, their towers, and they were all
just making up to play one. Well, yeah,
crap!
I wouldn't carry that crap around. And there's places that already have them set up. Why wouldn't you just go there? I don't know.
Because they're not as good as my stuff.
That's right. I don't want to carry stuff. I don't even want to carry gear anymore. All right. Well, you guys have an awesome week. And then next week when we come back, we'll have audio, I think. Hopefully. Yes.
From Burleson to Venus and Grandview to Godley, this is the voice of Johnson County, Joco Community Radio.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm Jeremy House. School students in Chicago are off for a 4th straight day as school leaders and the teachers union continue their dispute over remote learning and COVID-19 protocols. Fuel price analyst